theexperiencepros.com or message us on the Experience Pros Facebook page, and we'll interact with you live on the show.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. We will interact with you live on the show. We love hearing from you.
We absolutely do. And let's talk about your business.
Yes.
We actually have our expert, our celebrity of the day, Heather Schooler. She is the business profitability specialist, and she is a regular here on this national broadcast as well as all over the country. We are also going to give you a free report on how you can discover the top 10 places that your business is leaking money that you probably don't know about. And you can find that online at ismybusinessleaking.com, ismybusinessleaking.com. Heather Schooler, celebrity of the day. Welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thank
Heather.
you so much.
Super nice to have you on the program. Is my business leaking?
Well, that's a very good question. And a lot of business owners, businesses are leaking money, time, energy, and they just don't know it.
Okay, so I can see how there might be some things that maybe I'm not super aware of, but I think for the most part, okay, we're pretty efficient. I know where things are going. I would know if I had a leak in my business, wouldn't I?
I think that a lot of business owners believe that they have control of everything that's going on in their business and they have complete understanding. But what happens is when you are so close to everything that's going on a day-to-day basis, you really aren't able to sometimes take a step back and see some of the obvious things that are going on in your business that may be having you lose time and or money. And so as business owners spend 50 hours a week or 80 hours a week, day in and day out in their business, they get so close to their business that oftentimes they miss some of the key things that could be causing them to be inefficient.
Heather, is it safe to say that there's a river running through many small businesses, and the river's called denial?
I would say that is fair. That is a fair statement.
Right. Where you talk about incorrectly allocating our money to the wrong resources. Where are we putting our money that we shouldn't be?
Well, it depends on the business and what they're spending their money on, but especially a lot of new businesses will get approached by individuals that say they might require this or they might need that. And without really having that understanding, you're investing a lot of money in things that you may not necessarily need. Or in addition to that, even if you're an experienced business owner, there's a lot of times where maybe this was the right way to do it a year or two ago, and you're doing it that way because it works. But now that you've grown your business a little bit, there's a way to do it more efficiently and effectively that you haven't discovered yet.
And that just makes perfect sense, because what we needed then and where we are and what we need now is probably a very different picture. But I think, Heather, again, like you said, we're so caught up in the day to day and what we're doing, we don't really take the time to figure that out. And I think it kind of reminds me of when you have a little drip in the kitchen or in the bathroom sink.
She's looking at me.
Right? It's just a little drip. Really, how much, what's the big deal? How much is that really costing us? And I think we dismiss how much it really is costing it. Is that what you find when you go in and work with your clients?
I think so. And a lot of them are actually surprised at how much money they're actually leaking, quote unquote, because of little things that they've missed.
All right. So, Heather, what's the solution? What do we need to do in order to stop the process of just running out of money?
Well, I think there's quite a few things that you can do. And as you guys so gratefully mentioned, I did come out with a report that kind of lists the top 10. But what I think most business owners just need to do is take the time to have someone from the outside take a look at their business from that 10,000 foot view or from that external view, just as a checkup. A lot of major companies, they'll have internal auditors come in, they'll have consultants come in, and smaller business owners think I can never afford anything like that, but actually they can. And oftentimes a good analysis will pay for itself.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
Absolutely.
if you're going to save me all this stuff that I've been losing and leaking and will continue to,
Hire a pro.
I imagine, that it does pay for itself probably pretty instantly. I know you work with incredible clients all over, and we're excited for the clients that are going to continue to work with you. But can you give us an example of a client that you worked with that, had a big hot mess and didn't know it?
Sure. I actually have one of my favorite examples, and he doesn't mind me bringing it up. I had a client who owned a livery, or AKA limo service, who I worked with, who was having an issue that a lot of service businesses have, where you perform the service, but it may be 60 days or 90 days before you get the revenue in for that service.
Sure.
And because of that, he had a major cash flow issue. Well, he was unaware that there were quite a few options, and something as simple as, just getting him a decent line of credit at a great local bank that would be able to bridge him over that time to allow him to be able to cover all of his expenses until that revenue came in. And that saved him about 10% overall in terms of money that he was leaking out of his business on an annual basis.
Wow.
I think that for many of us, we can kind of put ourselves in that shoe, right? It's 30 days or 60 days that we're not getting paid, and we are finding ourselves having to bridge that, and that can be really expensive, and it stops us from doing things that can grow in our business. Heather, you mentioned a report and how most business owners don't even realize that this type of analysis is available to them. And so fear not, Heather Schooler is here. She's going to help you analyze, figure out where your business is leaking. The report is the top 10 places your business is leaking money, and you don't know it. She does this all day long. Is there anything that's ever really surprised you, Heather, of a leaking business or something that you found that the owner didn't know that was like a big surprise to you?
I haven't come across anything yet that was a huge surprise, but I've been doing it for about 20 years for big companies and now smaller companies. So it's kind of like, if you had 19 kids, you kind of seen everything.
You've seen it all.
You don't want your coach going,
right. Yeah. You know what you're looking for.
You don't want your coach going, oh boy. Yeah. You know what? You got a problem. Ismybusinessleaking.com. That's the website to go to get that free report. Ismybusinessleaking.com. And Heather, you just you blow us away every time. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. You guys have a great day.
Absolutely. Get your financial house in order, your business financial house in order. Ismybusinessleaking.com. That's Heather Schooler, a regular here on our national broadcast. All right, folks, we're going to be back right after these messages. Don't go anywhere. This is the Experience Pros Radio Network.
America's home for positive